Alright guys, so as the video title suggests, we'll be discussing how to set up authentication using Clerk in a Next.js application. So this can be done in any kind of Next.js application, so we'll be focusing on the 14th version, so that is actually easier to implement. So in order to begin, we will just create a Next.js application first. So open up a terminal. If you're on a MacBook, you can open the built-in terminal, or if you're on a Windows, you can open your PowerShell. And you should have Node.js installed. So if you type node v, you'll get the version of the node install, right? So it should show something like this. If it doesn't, then you have to install a node. So for that, you can follow the other tutorials. First, we'll create the Next.js application. So for that, I'll be using bun. You can use npx, pnpm, anything else of your convenience, but I'll be using bun over here because it is much more convenient to use. So let's type out the command bunx create next app at latest, or you can go with the 14th version, so that is 14.2. that is the stable version. For 15 is the latest one. Press enter. Now it will ask you the name for the application, so you can just type demo auth. So we'll be using TypeScript, yes. We'll be using ESLint, yes. Tailwind CSS, yes. src directory, you can opt for no and yes depending upon needs. And then obviously we'll be using the app router, and then no, we don't have to customize the import areas. So it will take some time to install all the dependencies and everything. So we are inside the current directory of the demo auth, that is our Next.js application. We'll be opening it into the code editor, which is VS Code for this current video. Code. So now our application has been completely installed with all the modules and everything. So now we'll just run the application from the terminal. So bun dev. I'm using bun over here because that is a really great option, as you see over npm, because it's stable and the dependency management is quite better when compared to npm or pnpm. So run bun dev and then just open localhost 3000. Go to your browser, any browser, and open localhost 3000. Here is the Next.js application. Now, in order to setting up the authentication with Clerk in this current lead node, like the Next.js application, you have to visit this particular URL as it's shown in the video. So now we'll visit the URL clerk.dev. So we'll come to the landing page. You can sign in and create an account. I'm already signed in, so I'll be continuing towards the dashboard. So when you come towards the dashboard, you'll be having the option to create the application. So I have some applications listed over here. So I'll be going to the option to create a new application. So as this is a demo application, we'll just give a demo as the application name. So you can choose the providers as you want. You can either use email, phone number, username, Google. So we'll be going with email and Google. It'll take some time to create the application. You have to be patient over there. And as you can see, the application is done creating inside the Clerk dashboard. So what you have to do now is to follow the Next.js guide. So you're already on the Next.js guide, and then you can see here the first step is to install the Clerk Next.js package. I'm using bun. You can use npm, yarn, and pnpm as well. So I'll be using npm, and you can see you can copy this one. This is the package name. Go to your terminal. You can go to the native terminal. You don't have to close the application running in the background. You can do bun add the package name. This will install the dependency, and then you'll be having these secret API keys. I'll be deleting the application, so I'm showing you the key after the video. The keys will be redundant, so you can't do anything with that. So you can just show the key like this. You can copy, and then what you do is go inside your Next.js application. You won't be having the .env file, which is the environment variable file. Go over here, create a new file .env, right? You'll be having the environment file, and also for security measure to push into the GitHub repository, you can go over here, and then add this. What this will do is it will allow your GitHub tracker to actually stop tracking your env file, so you don't push it into the repository and expose all your secret keys and stuff. Alright, so you can see it's not on track. It shows nothing over here. You can see these are modified, but this is nothing, so this is not being tracked. Now you have to do what is, you have to go over here and Control V or Command V if you're on Mac, as I'm doing over here. So these are your API keys, right? Now go back to the dashboard again. This is the middleware file. This is very important because this will help you to actually configure the routes which you can expose towards the main application. So you can either protect the routes or expose it into the public, so that people who are signed out of your application can actually use those routes which are exposed to the public, and the ones which are private, which can be only accessed when the person is logged in. So just copy this. This is the file name which you have to put it that is middleware.ts. So what we'll do is we'll be in the root directory, right? And then we'll create a new file, middleware.ts. Alright, over here you have to do what is, just paste this thing. That's it. It's as simple as that. You have pasted it, save it, close the env file as well. Now comes the crucial part. You have to go inside your layout and you have to add this part. This is the main thing which will wrap your entire Next.js application inside the ClerkProvider, so that you can use the authentication services. So what I'll do now is I'll just go over here. I'll open my layout file, or you can just navigate from here. You can go inside the app. You can go inside the layout. Do what is, I'll just close this off. Yeah. Now below the return statement, as you can see, after the parenthesis, you have to press enter and then ClerkProvider. You can see the auto completion is over here. So this is basically the ES7 syntax stuff. It's an extension. You can go to your extension manager and then type ES7. So it's just a kind of extension which gives you all the snippets and all the auto completion for React and React based applications, right? So when you are done with the layout thing in the application, go back to your file explorer and then you're done over here. That's the only thing you have to do in this layout file. Close the file now. Now we'll go to the main documentation. As you can see, it's asked us to run the localhost, so we'll just go there and then restart the server. Right, so the service is up again. As you can see, just refresh it. Nothing much has happened as of now. We'll be just doing the main stuff. Now we have to click on this icon near your user and then you have to go to documentation. This is where everything will be done. So here you have many options, so I'll just make it quick for you. You have to go to Clerk middleware. Inside the Clerk middleware, all you have to do is scroll down, and you'll see something like a public thing. 1 minute. Yeah, here, protect all routes. So this is public route. So this is what the public thing was talking about. Is public route. This is the thing which will allow you to expose the URL to the public who are not signed inside your application. So copy this, or if you don't want, you can go with the default one, but I prefer using this one because it allows your application to be protected and only the sign in and the sign up routes will be active. So if you want to add another route such as the root directory, you can add it over here. So this is what now that the root directory of your root path of your application is also exposed to the public. So this one also, if I refresh, it's fine, it's there. But if I remove this one from here, you can see what happens. This will be protected. Now you'll be redirected to the sign-in page. This is actually on the application you have created, so it's not in localhost. Now I'll show you how to create this thing on your localhost, so you don't have to redirect your users towards this URL all the time. Go back to application, add the base route inside your middleware, close the middleware file. Now go back to the documentation and we can go back to the application as well. It will load. Just do one thing, localhost 3000. As you can see, the base route is accessible now. Now over here you'll be having the guides, right? So go to the add a custom sign in or sign up page guide. You can see the URL as well. You can navigate to this one. I'll just mention in the description. Now you have to do what is, you can see this, right? The app, sign in. These are the folders, directory kind of thing you have to create over there. Do now what is, you already have the app folder. Inside that you have to create a sign in. So go back to your Next.js app. Inside the app, as a best practice, you have to always create a group folder. So I'm pretty sure that you must be aware of Next.js over here. So this is the North group folder. This won't be redirected by the page router system. So this will group all the folders related folders and all the routes related to the sign in and sign up. Over here, create a new folder, name it sign in, right? Over here, as you can see inside the guide, it asks us to make this kind of folder. This is a catch all route. This will catch all the routes after the sign in. So this is not actually defined over here. This thing can be dynamic. So this is a dynamic route. Go inside the sign in, new folder, dot sign in. You can also copy paste and just paste it over here. That's not a big issue. I'll do it with the sign up thing. Now inside here, you have to create a page.tsx. You can use the TypeScript React snippet tsrfce, press enter. So you could rename or just keep it over here because we'll be using the sign in component. It will clash with the names. You have to import the sign in. This is the component which will be rendered on this particular URL, that is inside the app sign in with the sign in URL, right? That's all you have to do for the sign in. I'll just show you that it actually works. So you can go to localhost, sign in, right? You redirected over here. This thing is actually going towards that URL because we haven't set the environment variables. I'll show you how to do that. Then in the same way, you have to do what is, create a new folder, sign up, right? Same thing, double bracket opening, dot, sign up. Now create a page.tsx, tsrfce, right? You can follow along. I won't speed up or play with the speed of the videos. So sign up. So the component will be rendered in the sign up page, right? Okay, now we are done with the routing part. Now we will take the environment variables. So you can scroll down, come down, and you will see the .env file. You have to add this. These are the URLs which will be inside your .env file that will allow your application to have local routes for the authentication instead of going towards that particular URL. Save it, go back, and then you can have add a custom sign up page. And over here as well, you'll have the same thing. You can see this, the first thing is for a sign up, as in the other one it was sign in. Below this, just paste it, right? That's it. Yes, that's the entire setup for the Clerk Auth. You can go back to the application, or you can do one thing is restart the thing so that it's up to date. One dev, right? The app is starting, it's ready. Okay, now we'll go to sign in, press enter. Now see what happens. It's load. You can see you have the sign up component over here. It's already running on localhost, so that's what I mentioned. It is in sign in route as you created over here. You can see, right? Sign in. This is the route. So if you change it to something else, it will be reflected over here. That doesn't matter. That is completely dependent on your naming system. And you can see this thing. This is about, I said, was a dynamic route. So it can't determine what's coming here. So you just put it as a dynamic route. Now this is over here because it's following the actual document model of the HTML. So what you can do is to fix this, create a new file, layout.tsx, right? So this is the layout for this auth group, right? You just can see this. Let's collapse the folder, close everything. Say this is the auth group. You have sign in, sign up, and the layout. This layout, we'll just design it simply. So type tsrfce. This is the layout, and this will take children. Basic React concepts, you must be aware of this. Paste over here, and I'll give it a type, React.React node, right? Now I can style it. Class, we are using Tailwind, so we'll be having the class names. The class name should be edge full, width full, flex call, then item center, justify center. Right. Also give it a minute of screen and screen, right? Now you can see it's centered. So if you have your application name as well, so we'll call it demo, so just add h1 over here and demo app, right? Give it a gap of 4, so the items will be having a gap in between them. Class name text for Excel font port, right? So you can see you have the demo app. Now we can also see the sign up route as well. So you can go to sign up. Sorry, that is a typo. Up. See, this is your create an account page. I'll show you how the middleware works. As I mentioned, this was my favorite middleware thing. So you can access only the sign in and the slash route. I create a new route and show you how this works. So go to app, create a new folder, create about section. Over here, get a new file, page.tsx, tsrfc. So rename it to about page for better indexing, right? This is the about page. We'll give it the same class name as we did for the layout, so everything comes in the center, right? Page class name, about page. Let's give it some different color, bg amber 400, right? Go back to application. Now see the magic. So if you remove all of this text from here and then you go to about, see what happens. You'll be redirected back towards the sign in or the sign up page. See, back to the sign in page, right? As it's mentioned in the A and B, the fallback, this is for the after sign in the sign out. So the fallback comes down to either sign in or the sign out, right? So now I'll just sign into this. I don't have an account, so I'll just click sign up, right? Continue with Google. And see, I'm signed in. You can see the entire thing has changed. You are back to about. As it wasn't accessible previously, I'll show you the other thing as well, that I'll just make it more clear. So you can add the user button. This will allow you to sign out from a page. So this will show your profile and sign out. Now you can see it will go back to the root directory as it was mentioned in the env file. So that is how you set up a Clerk authentication on your Next.js 14 application. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for new videos and subscribe to the new channel. Thank you so much.